Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Well, I've lost my hammer out here in this menagerie, and I didn't want to use my titanium hammer to drive nails backwards because it'll just mess up the face. So I went downstairs. I have lots of hammers. Went downstairs and unloaded the rack and brought it up. I had no idea that those weighed that much. Trying to climb that stairway carrying that box full of hammers about did me in. But I got them up here. Now I'm going to drive some nails out and get them pulled. Got my nail grabber right here. Goes over here. Now my intent is to pull the nails and stack the boards onto this green bench. Let's see, that's a claw hammer. That's a ball peen. This is a claw hammer. Reasonably good claw hammer. But what I'm really looking for is this claw hammer. This is my straight claw hammer. And this is a regular curved claw hammer. I have one similar to this that I got at Sears many years ago that I use whenever I'm driving nails because that was the one that I had. And I liked it. It's got a fiberglass handle. So the only thing I don't like about it's got the fiberglass handle, but it doesn't seem to bother anything. Now I thought sure as the world, as soon as I brought that box full of hammers up here, I would find the hammer that I was hunting for, but I didn't. That's okay. We'll just work with what we got. I'm going to have a glove on my left hand and use the hammer with my right. Glove is so I can pick up the boards without getting splinters or get a nail jammed into my hand, at least not easily. Now I don't have to drive them all the way out, just got to go part way. All I got to be able to do is get the claw underneath it. And I'm just going to drop the nails on the floor and pick them up with a magnet because otherwise I will be reaching and grabbing and doing all kinds of things that I don't want to do. Once again, these are but shelf boards, they're nothing fancy. Recovered from a pallet. Nice wood for a pallet. I mean, it's been planed on both sides. Actually looks pretty good. This isn't a framing hammer. It had some kind of a stencil on the thing. It says, warning, wear safety goggles, user and bystander. This tool can be made to chip if struck against another tool or hard objects or resulting in a possible eye or bodily injury. Replace any tool immediately upon chipping, mushrooming, or other damage. Well, it's not having a problem. They're really concerned about you striking a hard object with it and chipping it. It is a fairly well-made hammer. I was driving over to Mason, Michigan, and when I left the 127 highway, the first exit to Mason after leaving Lansing. I noticed it laying in the road. Well, rather than have it be ruined by somebody drive over it, because it has been driven over quite a bit. I decided to stop and pick it up. No, that was a good move on my part. It's a nice hammer. I'm sure somebody's missed it and they got where they were going. I'm sorry that they didn't have it with them when they got to work, but I'm happy that I recovered it and kept it from turning into a tire flattener. I would love to have my grandson down here and say, you can have any of these nails. You just have to straighten them. And teach him how to do that. He will have lifelong employment. Now, I kind of chide people about choking up on the hammer, because ideally you want to hit with a hammer using the full handle, and you want to break your wrist when you're doing it, because the power comes from the speed. Hitting it fast is much better than hitting it straight without, just trying to force the nail through. But sometimes when you're trying to drive a little nail, just like Scout Crafter says, you got to choke up on the hammer. I like pulling nails. It's something I can do. I can carry on a conversation with you guys. Well, you're not answering me, but I'm asking questions. Or making statements. Mostly making statements. It's kind of my stock and trade. Got two I didn't pull. Something I'm noticing on these nails. Usually when I'm driving a nail out, I'm thinking it's supposed to go out straight. All of these entered the wood at an angle. So when I see these nails going in with kind of an angle this way, you see it more on these. And these down here have an angle going the other direction. Somebody's standing on one side of the pallet running nails, and the other person standing on the other side of the pallet running nails, and they're driving the nails either away from themselves. Smartest move. Nails will tend to catch a hold of a knot or some hard spot in the wood, skip and come back out. So if you angle it slightly away from yourself, it's not going to come back and catch you in the throat. But at the same time, it means that one side of the board has the nails going one direction, and the other side of the board has the nails going the other direction. So on this side I drive them out like that, on this side I drive them out like this. Or I can spin them and they all go out the same way. See how easy that is? Once you figure it out. And I've got, what, 5 boards left, maybe 6? And I would imagine this is the only pallet like this I've got in the whole pile out there. These pallets come from a flooring company. Yeah, they sell vinyl sheet and carpet. Also, it looks like they sell countertops, cabinets, wood flooring, a variety of things. And I stopped out there and I said, hey, I'm building some shelves. Would you mind if I took some pallets? And they said, please, take all you want. We'd love to get rid of them. Yeah, that's all of them. Big old bunch of nails there. I picked up this magnet at Harbor Freight. It was a good purchase. Nothing fancy. Central magnetic machinery pickup tool with quick release. Warning to prevent serious injury. Wear ANSI approved safety goggles during use. I don't see this thing flinging nails or anything else. People with pacemakers should consult their physicians before use. Electromagnetic fields in close proximity to heart pacemaker could cause pacemaker interference or pacemaker failure. Do not remove. Made in China. Well, I don't have a pacemaker. So I don't think I have to worry. Okay, I got all my nails. Quick spin around, make sure. Haven't flung one off someplace. Okay. Works pretty good. There we go. $22.25, just like I expected. Okay, now I just have to cut a whole bunch of boards. Now I'm going to end up with short boards left over because these aren't long enough to do a full thing. So I have to pick and choose which end I want to leave. Which one has the most weakest knots? This end has the most weakest knots. Just stack them up there. Now these little short boards are, at this point, destined to become firewood. But you know, just because the board's short doesn't mean it's no good. Now, this one has 2 knots. We'll leave those 2 knots in the short side, and just like this one. I should grab a let's see, lay that up there like that. I'm going to flip this over. Take that staple out of the measurement. There we go. This one's just junk. I'm not going to cut it just yet because you don't know what kind of junk it could be. It could be firewood junk, could be toothpick junk, although I wouldn't use pallet boards for toothpicks. You don't know where the pallet's been, what's been on it. Even if it came to you with carpeting on it, and carpeting is relatively clean, you don't know what was on the pallet in the same truck. So you're better off just saying, okay, we're not going to take chances with this. This one is junk too. Bottom boards have a tendency to have a hard life. They had scrubbed across the floor, forklift tines hit them, and forklifts are not known to be generous in their handling of inferior products. At least not in the fork truck driver. Everything is smaller than his massive piece of heavy equipment. And he figures if he can drive it, by golly, he can hit anything with it that he wants. So it goes. Six of one, half dozen the other. Well, it looks like I forgot a nail. Last one. Now, I say last one. It's not really the last one. The last one is still attached to a pallet somewhere in the world, because I keep doing this as long as I have a need for them, and I seem to find a need more and more. But in any case, I got a whole bunch of boards, and now I'm going to go put them on that shelf over there. I'll grab a handful, go over here and climb the ladder and stick them up. One more wide one ought to have it done. Beautiful. 2 shelves completely full. And this one could use a couple more boards. That's one. But I got to unload some shelf before I put another one in there. And I still have all of these on this ladder that I can use on that shelf. Because the top doesn't have but 1 or 2 boards on there. I may leave that just like that. I've got long pieces of 2x6 up there that are going to be part of the framing of the lean-to shed. And I've got more framing sitting over there, more framing coming from the pallet racks. Well, from the pallets. So this is a good point to stop. I got to go in and make some supper. I know I seem to say that a lot, but it's what I do about 5 o'clock every night. Time well spent on a job well done. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.
Not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union without the express written permission of the parents or the legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.